What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time, I have to say. So we have Austin on this podcast. You guys all know he's my brother, and I wanted to shoot this little intro to give you a little foresight into what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to obviously introduce ourselves at the beginning and then talk about some real estate specific stuff. Most of you know that I am a realtor, so most of the conversation will be real estate oriented. He is also a very good marketer. So he's running ads for me. He's running ads for other clients. He's constantly networking on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all those things. So I wanted to come on here really quick and introduce the podcast, and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I haven't seen you guys in a while. It's been a long time. I told you that it'd be a podcast eventually, so here it is. Now we're face to face, so we have video now. I have Austin with me. He's my brother, obviously. Most of you guys know him. He's currently developing a marketing agency and helping other realtors advance their portfolios and their clientele. Being a realtor myself, he's very important to us. So we're going to get into that in the podcast. So, but a little bit about myself. I have an intro podcast already on my YouTube, so I'll link to that or something like that, a little card. But I am a real estate investor, realtor. I invest in crypto. I pretty much do a lot of things when it comes to finances, stocks, like I mentioned, investing. Roth IRAs, all that kind of stuff. So, but a little intro about you, Austin.
So for the past 6 months, I've been trying to run this marketing agency. I transferred from the University of Illinois doing aerospace engineering and transferred to Florida Polytechnic University, and I am currently pursuing my degree in applied mathematics. Decided to launch at the end of March, and I've just been building a customer basis and a clientele basis and a following basis on LinkedIn, Facebook, and now YouTube, and we're going to slowly start expanding to Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, but those are going to be very slow steps because I want to be building them with a very concrete foundation. So a typical day looks like for me is I just text realtors and see if they are in need of marketing assistance. And what we do for them is we set up their own personally branded website, personally branded ads, and run them on very popular social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. And those are the ones that we've been able to see with the highest conversion rates. And those are the ones that we're running Zach with right now that have brought him a decent amount of clients. We also do SEO, which is search engine optimization, to increase the likelihood that Google is going to rank your website higher than others, and that he was going to be the top realtor when you search for him in his area. We do all of this as a done-for-you service and integrate it with email and text message automation for people, so it makes it easier interacting with clients.
So Austin has, like you mentioned, has set up a couple things for me, including a website, which I'll link down below if you guys want to check it out. But the most important thing that Austin does for us is he sets up our own website. He has a resource in there where, clientele can fill out their information that immediately comes to us agents, that we can call them, get them on the phone and try and convert them. So the stuff that he does within his websites and his marketing is crucial. Email lists, he does buyers lists, he does forms, he does those templates, and he does all the testimonials that go at like the bottom or the middle of the page that make an agent appear to be more professional.
Especially developing, an online presence in the world, because a lot of people don't do that, man. Like, you're looking at real estate agents that really focus on referral networking and getting people from, pipelines that are very out of date now. I don't know if that's the right word, but it kind of fits. And they don't really have any digital real estate, and that's kind of, a hypothetical there for you, but you got to start getting into the metaverse, into, the digital platforms, because it's going everywhere. And this is, going to be the next big thing. Marketing is always going to be around, and that's why I chose it as a $60 billion a year industry.
So I ended up ultimately wanting to bring you on to my business because I've tried Facebook ads, Instagram ads, I've done all that stuff. And one of the posts that you made really preached to me, where I was like, it's not that Facebook ads don't work. It's the fact that people don't test them. They don't understand how they work. So you and your partner have shown me a lot of light when it comes to Facebook ads and what I can be doing differently. And then instead of doing it myself, I just want to hire you. And you've brought me a lot of people that I've been able to talk to. I've been able to search other agents, even
keep them updated and on your contact list, so we can send out those newsletters, and getting your surface level exposure to these people is what you want. You always want them in your little following basis. So it's really important to have that connection with them, especially since it's personalized.
Absolutely. Now, the agent's biggest problem that you are trying to set me outside of is that everyone and their mother is an agent nowadays.
Right.
Everyone's trying to be an agent to make the commission, to make the easy dollar, and they get into the business and realize it's not all that, but they still try to succeed, which by all means, I love it. I love to see it. But a lot of agents get the stereotype of, oh, it's just another agent. Oh, I'll go use another agent. What, in your opinion, really makes an agent stand out like myself or like Tina?
So I want to rewind a little bit to what you said about the Facebook ads and them not working. They actually do work very well. A lot of people just are inexperienced in the way that they go about them, right? You've seen what we do in the back end of your Facebook, right? Because what he has to go through is he basically adds us on as managers of his business page. So we run ads out of his business page. So he sees everything that we can do. He sees everything in the background. But what we do is we run 40 different ads and then run them for maybe $1 or $2 a day, depending on what the agent's budget is. And slowly we turn them off and see what, compare the results for different ads and turn certain ones off, because it's very hard to get an ad that converts, but it's very easy to put an ad on Facebook. So what we see in all these real estate agents putting ads on Facebook and then being like, it's not working, Facebook ads don't work. And that's not true at all. They're just not prepared to put in the amount of time that it's going to take to find these converting ads. And that's what, we have to preach to people. And now, to go back to the question that you just asked, how, do you set aside from other agents and stuff like that? And that's what the websites...
Well, it's important to be on the ads set aside, because you don't want to be just another agent on the ads.
Exactly. So what we do is we make them very personalized for you, right? We want to make... We're your spotlight. We want to make you shine. We want to show off what's good about you. It can literally be anything. Like the fact that you do drone photography, we're gonna shut that from the mountaintops, right? Because when you have a seller, then they're gonna be like, I need you to take drone footage, and you'll be like, that can be all included in your agent experience. And every person has something special about them, and setting that out to other people is going to get you a bigger following audience, just because it's something to remember you by, right? A lot of real estate agents, I hate to say it, but they're out there to screw you over because they want the most amount of commission, and they put you into bad deals and whatsoever. But right, the important part is being able to spread light to all of this and being able to express yourself as who you are and making sure that everybody knows the truth. And that's why when we build these websites, we put a certain amount of information in them. Right? I design sales funnels. I don't design websites. I design websites too, but my primary service is funnel designing, because a lot of these websites are just very overwhelming for people to be on. Right? For Zillow, you have an agent finding service, you have a house finding service. All these different services can be very overwhelming, especially for an older generation that doesn't really know how to use technology. But now you have a one-page sales funnel, which is like a website, but it's laid out in such a way that as you scroll down, it shows you what you want to see step by step. So the information is displayed differently, and it's optimized for a client viewage.
Absolutely. So I completely agree with everything you've said. So if I were a new agent that just came on board, and I had, say, a budget of $1,000 a month I could put into not just advertising, but everything in general.
Yeah.
So that means your fees, your dues for the board, everything. So let's say I can give you about $200 a month on the high side for advertising. What do you recommend that I do starting out brand new?
Get on Facebook, build your social platforms, build your LinkedIn platform, build your YouTube platform. It's very, very important for you to get yourself out there and start networking. And a lot of people don't do that, right? They don't take that extra. It only takes me 2 hours a day to network myself and really get a concrete connection with a lot of the people that I meet and understand. Like right now, we're doing the podcast, and I have plans to, interview the CEO of another marketing agency, but he markets marijuana devices, and it's super cool because he's not using these devices only recreationally, but also as a form of building, right? He's taking cannabis construction, products like CBD oil, CBD lotion, CBD, pills, everything. And it's cool stuff like hemp rope and hemp shirts, and he markets all of it, and it's super, super cool. And I'm really looking forward to having him on my podcast because, marketing is a big deal, and to, see how marketing flows between two different people or two different industries is a really cool thing to see.
So would you say that everything that you do for me, you could theoretically do for free, but it would take a lot more time to do, meaning that you would have to, instead of people seeing your ad, you would actually have to go to them directly, type the message, send the picture, whatever it is that you may do. You can do that for free, but you do it a lot more efficiently. You can reach thousands and thousands more people in the same amount of time.
So you could actually do everything that I do. Right, I can teach you all of that. I'll go through it with you. But the thing that has people coming back to me time and time again is the fact that it takes up too much time. Right, you need to focus on your business. If you're not focusing on your business and you're focusing too much on marketing, you're gonna fall short. Right, a lot of people don't know that balance, and they get super frustrated and they stop, and they don't keep pushing. Right, they don't have any accountability for themselves and where they're going, and they don't know how to steer the ship, in my opinion. Right. There's just so much happening in their lives, especially for real estate agents, and you know that, right? Because you have different places to be when you're showing houses. You have to go, sometimes you need to take photography. Sometimes you're on a call with a client for 3 hours. Sometimes you're on a call with another real estate agent for 3 hours. It's all these unexpected things, and it's like, well, now I need somebody else to do it for me. And I do it efficiently. I do it the best, right, that you can do at the time, just with the amount of knowledge that you have. Right? A lot of people aren't going to go online and figure out how to do what I do, but I'll teach it to them for free. But I actually have this woman come back to me and be like, I just need you to do this because it just takes up too much of my time. And I'm like, I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad you recognize that. And
You're working with her now, aren't you?
Yeah. I was like, let's start out with a discounted rate for you. So I understand money is an issue. Let's not make money an issue. Let me bring you clients, and then we can talk about money.
Absolutely. I personally love the way that you go about that. Because I did the same thing when I first became an agent. I was always working for free. Most of that work came from photography because there's not much that you can do for free as an agent. But I kind of want to touch on what you think outside of marketing yourself online that you see working with agents that they could do to get themselves more clients. Maybe they're just starting out. Maybe they don't take it too seriously. Maybe there's a whole bunch of reasons. But what's a couple things that maybe they could do outside of online that people could do right now? Because you know how people work online. You also know people work offline a lot too.
Go to open houses and start networking with yourself. Join some Facebook groups and talk to, there's a bunch of real estate investment groups on Facebook. I know that's a little online, but it's not too bad. But go network yourself. Go to events that different brokerages are holding. Like, you remember at the start of I think sometime in October or November, we went to Tina's gun shoot thing, and we supported her. That's a great networking devices, and people don't use it. People don't go up to people and say, hey man, my name's Austin, and they don't network themselves like they used to, and that's a really piece of pie that we're missing now.
Yeah.
And that's why getting online is important, because our whole networking industry is going to shift, right? We've only had 20-ish years to be able to catch up to the technology that we're at today, and people still don't know how to use it.
Yeah. So I want to touch on a very important thing here quick. It's currently June 15th, 2022. I say that just so you know the relativity of when we're filming this, but also because the market was just previously a very heavy seller's market. So sellers were posting their homes and putting them up for sale, and they were getting 5, 10, 15 cash offers, other offers. People were outbidding each other. It was a crazy mess and mayhem. And now we're starting to see houses sit on the market for longer periods of time. not as many offers come through, some price reductions even. And so Austin has actually been helping me out a lot with marketing, as you know. But I also want him to express on what he's going to adapt, hit the way he does his business in order to keep my business steady and not slow down after we turn markets. Whether that means to you, if it's more buyer advertising, if it's more investor advertising since the market's dropping down, or even if it's switching over to rentals. I'm gonna hear what you have to say.
Yeah. So just getting yourself exposed to these people online, right? It takes so much for a brokerage to be able to give you a lead, right? They have to do so many things. Where I'm connecting you with your potential clients directly, right? So what we do is we set up these things and set up these different client pipelines, like your social media platforms, your Facebook ads, your website, your, something for people to search you on, right? You'll come up on Google if they search the right things. And all that is going to help you prepare for the recession that is going to come. And we'll touch on that later because I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you about that. But it's very important to set up that other pipeline because your referral networking is about to dry up, right? Because we're going into this recession. There's not that many people that want to buy. But if I make sure that they can see your name from Chicago, if I make sure they can see your name from New York, that's going to do a lot of stuff for you. And it's truly empowering for me to be in this type of position because I have the power just to be able to do that, right? And at the end of the day, for me, it's not about making money. It's about making sure that I get you to make money. That's what my job is, and I love my job. I'm supposed to be the best salesman that there is on the team. And I love being able to provide you with consistent customers. And I think that's just a very important thing that people need to set up before this recession comes, right? Because you're going to understand how long it takes to actually get a for sure client pipeline, right? We're going to build this for about 3 months. And what you're going to see through these 3 months is you're still going to get clients and people to talk to you on the phone, but it's going to be here and there. But once we get these ads that will actually convert for you, you'll have a constant stream of new people coming in and in and in. And you're going to be swamped between referrals and these people coming in that it's just going to make you deal less with the recession. And I've been seeing a lot of real estate agents online, on LinkedIn and Facebook saying, oh, we're not going to participate in this recession. And I actually made a post on LinkedIn about this today, and it's like, you're going to participate in this recession. No matter what, history has showed time and time again that if you go against the market will always win. So the best thing that you can do right now is prepare for this recession. Do market research, do market evaluation, tweak your services, and increase your marketing because there's going to be agents out there that are struggling, and I don't want you to be one of them.
I don't believe that we will be with your marketing. You said you want to ask me a couple questions. Do you want to dive into that, or?
Yeah. So, what do you see as the biggest problem coming for real estate agents?
Oh, so my biggest issue that I have is other agents. Actually, I believe it's our biggest downfall. Not because they take away business and they're competitive. I like the competitiveness of sales personally. But the lack of knowledge that other agents have is very deceiving. Anyone, like I said before, can have their real estate license.
Right.
Pretty much anyone can go and do that if you're under certain requirements, right?
Right.
So it's a 65-hour course and you take a test. And then you have to send it to a brokerage to make it active. That's all it really takes. We all went to school. We all know how tests work. We all can do it, right? The biggest thing is that now you're dealing with, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 of somebody's money to buy a house. Even more, the higher up you get to millions. And you have, people that are coming in with no experience on contracts, not memorizing contracts, not, memorizing a listing service, not memorizing anything. And not to mention the legalities of everything, escrow money, the time frame that you have to close. They have no idea what most of that means, if not all. And then they jump in saying, oh, well, it's just, writing an offer and submitting this and contacting these people and then close. No, it's not really that simple.
That's actually a great way to ruin somebody's life, right? It's super easy.
As an agent, you do have a lot of power with what you do, but we hold ourselves to a very high standard, especially if you're on the Florida Board of Real Estate, FAR bar, if any of you know what that is. And there's a whole ethics to it. You always want to serve your customer as best as you can, like it's you yourself. You want to make sure that you give your professional opinion to everyone that you serve, but ultimately the decision comes down to them. And there's a lot of agents that while they take those ethics class and they practiced past tense those things, they don't necessarily hold themselves that high of a standard now. So now you'll have agents that, one, don't even know what they're doing. So you have contracts or offers that are coming in that are not totally filled out, or you just have agents that are, asses. They're mean to you, they're mean to their customer, and quite frankly, I don't even know why some people work with them. But I have to say that's definitely our biggest downfall, is because everyone gets put on that stereotype of just another agent, or oh, well, why would I use an agent to sell it myself? When people don't realize a good agent actually does so much work, and that money that they get, while it's a high ticket number, it's well deserved, and they've done a lot of work.
Right. Yeah, I just see the work that you do every day, and it's like that's a lot of work to go.
And we don't even get paid until a month out if we close.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that can go wrong until then, and you could be 6 months through.
Yeah. What is your professional advice for somebody experiencing these problems? Right. Like, how can you better prevent yourself from working with an agent that is unqualified?
So the biggest thing for me was just getting to know them personally. Pick their brain a little bit. This was all before I really jumped into my online presence. The way I met Tina was she sold our dad a house, and I just kind of talked to her a little bit and got to know her, and I ended up, completely, I adore her. She's amazing.
Right.
She has so much experience in this. But the way I did it was just getting to know them personally. You feel somebody out. Okay, are they a good person? Check. Okay, do they seem like they know what they're talking about in real estate? Check. Okay, have they made different sales? Check. A lot of people sifting through this, they don't check any of those.
Right.
They never met them. They never talked to them over the phone. It was just text, and anyone can lie easily over text. You can look somebody up and see if they've sold what amount of houses. Experienced agents will have like a realtor.com profile. Maybe they pay for it, maybe they don't, but they'll still have it. You can usually look an agent up, and their brokerage will come up. You can look them on their brokerage, see what information they have on there. The good agents are getting better at this, and people will actually have their own Google business set up. Just how you look up like McDonald's, and it shows you all their contact information. Right. An agent themselves can do that. I've done it myself. So if you look up my organization, zacharyvonperbandt LLC, you'll see my ad. You'll see my reviews. You'll see my Google ticket right there. You'll see everything about me. And I always put on there, please feel free to call me, no obligations. Because I want people to call me. I just want to talk to them. I want to help people. Can I find you a rental? Can I find you a house? Can I sell your house? Really it's about me helping people.
Right.
And if you were to call me, you would know that. But people don't always call. People just find an agent and think it's like every agent's the same. But it's not that easy.
Like I said before, money doesn't make you wealthy. People do. If you always are trying to cater to people and help them, you will always be wealthy, because time and time again, they're going to come back to you because you helped them before, and they're going to go to all their friends and be like, this is what this guy did for me, right? They're going to scream your name from the mountaintops, the same way this woman wants to, because she's been struggling in the past with her website, just getting it online, and dealing with all that stuff, because I understand it is a lot to do. Even for me, I'm a professional in this industry, and she is like, I'm going to refer so many people to you, blah, blah. I'm like, the only person I want to focus on right now is you. All right, I don't care that you have other real estate agent friends, and I don't care that you know a bunch of other people. I do, to a point, but my biggest thing is I just want to make this woman happy. I want to give her a nice stream of clients, and I want to work with her, right? And every time that I show her that, I give her more and more reason to give me more customers, more clients. And then I'm going to do the same thing for them, and it's just an upward trend from there.
I just got off the phone with an agent today, and my biggest thing was make sure my personal saying is make sure you treat everybody as if they're your grandma, because I as you know, my first actual closing of my own was grandma's land, And she just loved it so much. It was such an easy experience for her, and she told me that she's proud of me, blah blah blah. And from then forward, me and Tina talked about it, and she was like, "Well, I guess you're saying so we treat everybody like they're your grandma, because I'm always sending her stuff. I'm saying, hey, can we go look at this? Hey, does this interest you? How can I refine your search? Okay, let's see if we can get this price point. You want to try this? Does this sound good to you? What's your opinion? Always looking for what they want and what they need, and I take that to heart and go and get it. And and she's still building her house now. We just closed on that like 6-7 months ago.
Yeah.
So that was one hell of experience.
Yeah. What do you recommend to a first-time buyer? What kind of advice do you have for them?
It's a good question. So number one that we talked about is you need to find your right agent. Finding an agent isn't just as simple as clicking on somebody's profile, calling them up, and hiring them.
Right. You
really need to make sure that they're a good fit for you. People have different personalities, and you can just, it's like finding a match on Tinder, kind of.
Right.
Not really, but professionally. Once you do that, the agent needs to understand the processes of closing first and foremost. That's what their job is. If they don't know that, that's it. But
see you later.
But they also, excuse me. They also need to know lenders. They need to be familiar with the lending process. They need to know handymen. They need to know construction workers. They need to know painters and roofers and plumbers and electricians and all these things. Because at the end of the day, if you're buying a home and let's say you're at a lower price range and there needs some repairs in the house, maybe you can fit those repairs in before you close, but you have to pay for them. That agent should know the cheapest and best person to use and have them on their sideline to send them in and say, hey, go, I need this done. Can you do this for me this day? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. That vendor has the utmost highest respect for that agent because we refer them business. And so they're pretty much on the spot for us, as we are them. If they need something, obviously we're there and whatnot for them as well. So the biggest thing for finding a good agent is one, do they know their stuff? Are they memorizing contracts? Are they always online? Do they have a good presence? Are they trustworthy? And I'm going to go back to it again, but do they know their stuff? Number two, are they with a lender? Do they have a personal lender that they use? What's their process? Are they good? Do they approve, low credit people? Do you know somebody that does, loans to no credit people? And number three, just knowing all the different lenders that can be out there. Like I mentioned before, lawnmowers, plumbers, electricians. That's the biggest one. Because with a good agent, the schools will all be different. Right. So your agent will send you a packet. Normally, they'll send you a packet with that house that you're viewing. It'll have all that information on there, the elementary, the middle, and the high school that are in the area. It's pretty easy for an agent to do. They're on all the listings. They're on realtor.com and Zillow too. It's pretty easy to search up. But with a good agent, you'll know, they'll know everything about you, what you're looking for, and ultimately they'll be able to guide you in the right direction with the lender, with the handyman, and with the contracts, so that you're not very stressed out. You're more relaxed, and it's an easier process for you. And they're kind of taking care of all the stressful stuff. That's really what our job is.
Right. So I want to shift the podcast a little bit. Let's start talking about mindset. One of the biggest things, I don't know if you've noticed it in your industry, but definitely in my industry, the wealthiest people seem to be the people that get things done, right? Like with me and my business partner, it might take a day or two, right? And we're on a call again, spending 4 or 5 hours on this call, working through something together, right? Because me and him both are professional and we get things done by ourselves, but sometimes we have those problems where I need to be face to face with him, right? And I'd say I could call him right now and he, if it was important enough, he'd be like, all right, well, I got 4 or 5 hours right now, let's go, right? So I've been listening to a lot of Alex Hormozi too, and he explains that as well, right? He says the wealthiest people are always the ones that respond the fastest, get things done, right? They don't just respond, they get things done. And they also talk in terms of money and understand everything in some sort of terms, right? So going off of that, have you noticed that in your industry, or what are the trends that you've seen?
It really depends on the agents and the brokers. I definitely would say that the highest producers are the ones that are on their stuff, that know what they're doing, that are posting on social media consistently. If they're making a video, they're posting that video right when they're done. If someone's messaging them, they message right back. I think it was a statistic that the number one reason why people don't close a sale or convert somebody is because of their timely manner to respond to them, actually.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that was a statistic that I saw for realtors. I would definitely say mindset in that part is definitely a big player for sure, just because who's going to hire somebody that's lazy? I
Right.
wouldn't. That's why I like to get all my stuff done right away. One, because I know if I let it sit, it'll just sit.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I mean, even working with some of these people that I work with now in the marketing world that are my clients, like I can tell that they're not just going to be able to put in the amount of work that's required for them to get these leads. And it's like, man, I wish you would open your eyes